There was a time when I felt lost. I don't mean directionless, I mean disconnected. I was doing everything right, working hard, chasing goals, pretending to be fine, but inside, I was running on empty. Every success felt temporary, every failure felt personal, and I started to wonder, is this it? Then one day, not all at once, but slowly, something shifted. Not the world around me, but the world within me. 3 realizations, simple, but powerful, completely changed the way I think, the way I live, the way I am. They didn't just change my mindset, they changed my life. For years I blamed circumstances for my unhappiness. I told myself, when things get better, I'll be happy. But psychology says something different. The brain doesn't react to reality, it reacts to perception. Every thought, every interpretation, every story you tell yourself creates your version of the world. When you believe people are cold, you'll notice every frown. When you believe life is unfair, you'll find proof in every struggle. But the moment you change the lens, everything shifts. The world you see outside is a reflection of the beliefs you hold inside. I realized that most of my pain didn't come from life itself, but from the way I interpreted it. I was addicted to control. I wanted certainty in an uncertain world, and every time life surprised me, I called it failure, when really, it was just life. When you change your perspective, you don't erase pain, you transform it. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what is this teaching me? From that moment, I stopped trying to control every outcome. I started to focus on the only thing I could control, my meaning, and meaning changes everything. There's a lie we all believe, that motivation is what moves us. We wait for the perfect day, the perfect feeling, the perfect spark, but the truth is, motivation dies. It's a wave, high one moment, gone the next, and for most of my life, I was chasing that wave, waiting for it to carry me. But it never lasted. Then I learned the psychology of habit formation. The brain doesn't care about motivation, it cares about consistency. Every small action, done repeatedly, rewires the brain. It creates patterns. It builds trust with yourself. That trust becomes discipline. And discipline is stronger than emotion, because discipline doesn't ask, do I feel like it? It simply asks, who am I becoming? Motivation is about mood, discipline is about identity. You don't need to be inspired every day, you need to be committed to your future self. And here's the paradox, when you stop chasing motivation and start practicing discipline, motivation returns, not as a spark, but as a fire. This shift freed me, because I no longer waited for the perfect moment. I created it, one small act at a time. That's how progress is built, quietly, relentlessly, privately. For most of my life I kept asking, who am I? As if the answer was hidden somewhere outside me. In success, in relationships, in other people's opinions, but identity isn't found, it's built. Every choice, every belief, every habit, they sculpt you. We talk about self-discovery, but maybe it's more like self-construction, because every time you make a choice aligned with your truth, you lay a brick in the foundation of who you're becoming. The person you are right now isn't the final version, it's a draft. And that's the beauty of it, you can rewrite yourself as many times as it takes. Psychologists call this neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on repeated experience. Your habits change your neurons, your thoughts shape your biology, your actions sculpt your identity. You're not broken, you're becoming. The question isn't, who am I? The question is, who do I choose to become next? Because identity is a verb, not a noun. It's something you do, not something you find. After these 3 shifts, I started to notice something else. Life didn't suddenly get easier, but it became lighter, because I was no longer fighting against my own mind. I learned that perception shapes peace, discipline creates momentum, and identity is a choice. The world didn't need to change. I did. Visual, calm water, reflection of light shimmering across the surface. And when I changed, everything around me began to move differently, not because life had new meaning, but because I did. The truth about change. Most people wait for a breakthrough, a big moment, a lightning bolt of clarity, but transformation doesn't happen in thunder. It happens in whispers, in small choices, in quiet mornings, in moments no one sees. Change is never dramatic. It's subtle, it's sacred, it's psychological rebirth. Soft music fades to near silence. The final message narrator, soft, emotional. The 3 shifts that changed my life weren't secrets. They were truths I had ignored. That the world reflects what you believe, that discipline builds what motivation can't, and that identity is something you create, not something you find. When you understand these, you stop chasing life and start shaping it. Visual. Sunrise now bright. The figure walks forward into the light. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need to shift the way you think. Because when the mind transforms, the world follows. Music swells. Warm, cinematic crescendo. Narrator, final whisper. Change your mindset, and you change your story. Change your story, and you change your life. Logo fades in. Mind scripted. Music fades. Screen black. It doesn't take massive epiphanies to change your life. Just a few subtle shifts in your thinking can transform the way you live. Your thoughts create your world, and the way you think is so important that you should make learning how to think properly your number 1 job. I have a simple philosophy. If my thoughts help me get what I want, they're useful. If not, I change them. I'm not concerned about being right. I want to get it right. Drop your ego long enough to shift your mindset, and all of a sudden, everything changes. These 3 mindset shifts personally helped me make a huge difference in my income, lifestyle, and even my happiness. This book kept me up until 4 a.m. I was in college, thinking about the type of future I wanted to build. This book provided a piece of wisdom that would change my life forever. The book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Mindset Shift, Don't Work for Money, Build Assets. Wealthy people don't earn their money from income. They earn it from assets that continue to pay them again and again over time. You can create intellectual property that you create once and pay you over and over again. I've done this with books. You can build a business that doesn't require you to be there to make money. Investors put their money to work from buying assets like stocks, real estate, crypto, and even buying entire businesses. Next, they create a flywheel. Profits from assets pour into other assets, and those profits pour into more assets. Wealthy people use money from assets to buy luxuries. Middle-class and working-class people use earned income and debt to buy luxuries. You need assets. Relying on one source of income is a dangerous trap. Assets provide protection because you have money coming in from different places, and you can keep growing new sources with the money created by old ones.